Okay. Welcome to the show. I really believe that this is our kickoff show. I'm Matt.
I'm Eve.
And this is the Matt Eve. Right.
It's the Eve and Matt show.
Right. This is the afternoon show.
Why is this our kickoff show?
Really, this is the inaugural show, and I'll tell you what. Let's just go back in time. We did about six or seven shows, some good, some bad. And you can go back and watch them. The audio was not up to par. I mean, you can hear us, but I really do think this is the first show where all the technical difficulties have been worked out. And I will get into them at some time. But first, let's talk to Eve. Eve, how was your day?
My day was good. It's the day before Halloween, so I'm dressed. Not really sure what it is. I've heard many things.
Well, let me ask you this before you go on. Did people think that you were dressed as somebody?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Would they? Go ahead.
They thought, like, goddess, flower child, some spokesperson, like, Green Giant type thing,
Huh?
but only for some other thing, where
Right.
I guess she looks like this. The best one I heard was ghost of a flower child. And I
Not
was
bad.
like, perfect. It's perfect. I love it.
Yeah, that's certainly the most interesting.
Yeah. So,
Call.
like a flower child who died in the 70s.
Tell me,
Probably from drug overdose.
Did you, when you put the outfit on this morning, did you intend it to be as a potential?
It was just supposed to be whimsical.
Whimsical. Oh.
Yeah.
But
I have glitter on my back. I was going to put glitter on, but I was like, it's going to get in my eye. All types of problems come from glitter.
Huh.
Yeah. And so it was kind of nice. It was kind of a horrible day, but kind of an amazing day at the same time. So it's considered Community Day at High Tech High.
Oh, right.
So we bonded and we had breakfast, but it was super boring and the breakfast was pretty bad. And last year we went to Belmont Park, which is like, it's like a little mini theme park on the beach in San Diego. And it was so fun that I don't think anything could match the amount of fun that we all had last year. And they gave us 45 minutes this year as opposed to an entire day. And so we were all kind of super angry because we only had 45 minutes and then they made us go back to school. But it was kind of all right because we ended up just like goofing off the entire day anyway. So we were kind of chilling. And then also we are learning about like abolitionists and Lincoln and what's it called, like Reconstruction right now, like the late 1800s. And I guess there is a literacy test that freed slaves had to take in order to vote, and we took it today. It's insanity. Like, when you're reading it, you're like, I'm insane. I'm a perfectly literate human being, in English at least, and it's
You can't
so
understand
confusing. Like, one of the sentences is like, circle the first comma, first letter in the alphabet in this sentence. So I circled A in alphabet, so it's the first A. Okay, that's fine. And then there's another one where it's a triangle, and inside the triangle it says, Paris is Paris in the spring. And then it says, write what you see in the triangle. And you're like, I'm smarter than this. I'm going to put Paris in the spring, and then it's going to be wrong, so I'm going to put Paris in the spring. Smarter than this. Nope. It's not, because one little edge of the triangle is not completed. It's like a little space, so you think, oh, it's like a printing error. No. So thus, it's not a triangle. And you're like, what the heck are you trying to do?
So you tried to outthink them, and they were outsmarting you.
Yeah. It's like they knew that that's what you would focus on. And
Right.
I'm like, this is so overtly racist. They're like, oh, okay, so first of all, your grandfather had to be able to vote. So your grandfather
this is
had
what
to have
this
been
is what
free.
they gave to
Yes.
slaves. Oh, so they basically made it so that you would fail.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, okay, so your grandfather could vote. That's fine. You have to take this literacy test that I can't even pass. White people don't have to take it because, you know,
Right.
you're white. But it was crazy, and, like, my mind was just blown. I only know that answer. I don't really know the answers to all the other ones or how many I got right.
But you came away feeling,
Here's another thing. You're only allowed to get one wrong.
wow.
In order, if you get one wrong, you fail. So you have to get every single
Yeah.
one right. You have to take it in 10 minutes. It's 29 questions. It's like,
Right.
it's crazy.
They knew that it was almost an
Yeah, it's like, here's an
impossibility.
impossible test to take.
All right.
It was, yeah. But that was kind of cool. Because we, like, got to learn about, you know, what they went through in a more, like, civilized way.
Sure.
Obviously, we know they were slaves and they went through a lot. But a very, like, hands-on version of, like, the racism. Even after slavery was abolished.
Hmm.
So, we did that. And then, otherwise, we just moved around.
Well, I'm just gonna back up for the audience because they probably aren't filled in, and basically what we're doing here for the show
Yeah.
is every morning I have to drive. Almost every morning I have to drive Eve to school, and then every afternoon I have to go pick her up. It's only about 10 to 12 miles, maybe probably 12 miles from
Yes, it is.
my house, from our house to school. But there's a lot of traffic, and I find myself spending an enormous quantity of time in the car. And I thought, you know, I've got this old GoPro Hero 2. Let's put it up there. We'll record these conversations. Eve's going to be driving soon, so the
Yeah.
show's probably going to end
You know, like,
and 6 months, and then that'll be the show. But I know there's a lot of people back on the East Coast, a lot of my family members would like to, like sit in on these conversations, and you can watch it if you want to or not.
you could dance if you want to.
But I just thought, hey, great idea. Got the technology. We worked out all the kinks. If you have if you want to create a show like this and post it to the internet, and you have an old GoPro sitting around, put a question down below in the comments, and I will answer you.
Being such a YouTuber.
Yeah, I will answer
Doobly-doo.
those questions.
Also, if you have anything you want us to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. Write in and say, hey, what do you think about this? If you want to focus. I think it's kind of hard because, like, I am like almost 50, Eve's 16. We're kind of the same in a lot of ways, but we're all like in totally different places in life. But for this period of time, this half hour in the car in the morning and the afternoon, we have to be in the same space. And we figured, let's talk about some things.
Yeah.
So, and Eve's in the spot in the hero demographic. If you're a 15-year-old girl, you pretty much don't even watch TV. There is no such thing as TV. There is your phone
And Netflix.
and Netflix and Hulu and all of the as I always say, you're the last generation that's going to know what a TV is.
Yeah. That's why I was always confused by, like, late night shows, how they're always, like, fighting for a certain time. And I'm like, I was always confused. And I was like,
Because there's
oh,
no
yeah.
time for you.
Yeah, because I was like, just
Anytime.
DVR.
Right.
Or I could just watch the skits on YouTube. Like, it just doesn't matter. And, like, every time they're, like, switching to 11:30, which means, like, it's kind of worse. Like, those
Right.
prime times are, like, 5 to 7 for, like, news shows. And then, like, the later shows are, like, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then there was, like, this one show that was at, like, 1 o'clock in the morning. But it just doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, I don't know where they're fighting. It's like, you're on the air and you're funny. It doesn't matter if you're at 3 in the morning on Comedy Central.
Right.
People are going to watch it.
You'll watch it.
Yeah.
And that's a huge factor that I think people who grew up in my time have evolved from. You'll never really know it. But I'm a fan of this guy, Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah, I know.
And-
he's the one that curses a lot.
Yeah,
Has
but
a
he's-
really, like, young voice for his body.
Right.
He's 45, but he has a
Yeah.
voice like a 23-year-old.
So one of the key things is Vaynerchuk has pointed out is basically everyone's on their own time.
Yeah.
And there is no television time. Like, the only thing that's still in a specific time is a sporting event. Everything else,
that's
every
so true.
show exists on its own time. So there's no real reason to think about or to have to deal with the fact that we're all going to sit
Exactly.
down together, we're going to watch a program together. Doesn't matter.